We're set up on the tripod. Good morning. Thursday, March the 26th today. Yes, Thursday, March the 26th. It's about 8 a.m. The sun's just, within the last 20 minutes, I guess, popped up above the horizon and the tree line. And it's an absolutely beautiful morning here in Ontario. Again, we're down in the Pretty River Valley area, but not for long. We're at the south end of the Pretty River Valley, and we're heading south on the Bruce Trail in the Blue Mountain section. Today's hike is going to take us from the Pretty River Valley Road to County Road 91. It's going to be around a 20-kilometer round hike for the day. The pack is a day pack, weighing at about, maybe 10 or 12 pounds. That's about it. My day pack this time of year generally consists of a toque, a poofy jacket, just in case things change, which it can do. It's still very, very, very early spring. A flask of coffee, sometimes a sandwich. Today, snacks and fruit, bars and fruit, that kind of thing. I looked at my choices of making sandwiches this morning and realized the only kind of cold cut of meat I had in the house was Spam. Why would I have Spam in the house? I'm a through hiker. When you're through hiking, Spam is usually a huge amount of your kind of daily diet. So when you're not through hiking, why would I have Spam in the house? And it turned out it was the only thing I had in the house, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to make a Spam sandwich today. So snacks, fruit, cheese and crackers, bars, this kind of thing. Flask of coffee. Wow. Again, let me show you the beautiful river here. Absolutely beautiful down here. One of my favorite places. And this little section just further behind me, about half a kilometer behind me, is an area where I do an awful lot of camping, dialing in gear and so on in the warmer temperatures. Still too cold for me on a night, but it's definitely getting warmer. Sorry. We jump out at this little country road here, and we're going to head south along this country road. This is a part of the Bruce Trail, and this is going to take us up into the escarpment, the Bruce Trail marker. So this is going to take us up into the escarpment, about a kilometer up this road. It goes back into a single track path again, and it's pretty much going to stay like that for the remainder of this hike today. It's a beautiful day, man. Now, blue sky, a few puffy clouds, sun shining. Later today, the temperature is going to drop, rain is going to move in, then apparently overnight that's going to turn to maybe a snow. We'll see. I think the low tonight is about -5. Right now it's about 6 degrees, 7 degrees Celsius. The forecast high today is about 9 degrees Celsius. So that's actually great. Pushing towards the end of March, very early spring, April next week. Perfect. Okay, let's lay down some miles. Let's get going down this country road, and then let's head up the escarpment. By the way, Gary here, trail name Gary here, trail name Jasper. Welcome to my channel. Let's go. As we make our way up the first Major climb of the day. The trail itself is, well, there's no fresh snow. You can see snow in the GoPro. None of that is fresh. It's packed snow on the trail itself that has turned to packed ice. So it's very, very icy, very, very slippy. Spikes, pretty much mandatory if you want to make any distance or headway. I am wearing spikes today. So the trail itself consists of about 80 to 85% packed ice and about maybe 15% mud. This time of year, the trail itself will quickly change from the packed ice to all mud. Oh sure, we're still going to get some snow yet, or probably anyhow, because April, especially early April, we can have some quite significant snowfalls, and it would be nice to get out there in the fresh snow just one more time before this winter just makes way for the actual spring, and then of course summer. So yeah, whew, trail is challenging, no doubt about that. Yeah, let's take a little look here as we climb the escarpment. You can see this particular area is quite a well used, quite a well trafficked area by hikers. Because of the ascent and so on, it's a great training location. And a lot of hikers will come here and train for those reasons, because of the ascent, the challenges, the terrain, and so on. Okay, let's keep going. I think at this point it's time to lose a layer, and that's fine. So I'm going back with, well, first of all, I'm wearing my basically quick drying wicking t-shirt. Again, that's not an expensive t-shirt. That one's about a $16 t-shirt, and it's synthetic. It's all man-made fibers. The raincoat is a Woods. It's about a $120 Woods raincoat that, again, I purchased on sale. And this little kind of synthetic lightweight hoodie, I use this a lot on the trail. It's also used, or I also use it as one of my sleeping garments on cold nights. So it actually does more than one job, which, in all truthfulness, is somewhat important for your gear on trail. Is try to have gear and clothing particularly that'll do more than one job. So even though that's a sleeping garment and I use it many times with my tights, which is actually what I'm wearing now, underneath my rain pants I'm wearing my, I guess they're leggings for men, but these are from Mountain Gear Warehouse. They're called Active Wear running leggings. They're around a $25 price point, and I just purchased another pair of those. Actually, I just ordered a pair and I picked them up about a week or so ago, just before all the stores closed, maybe 2 weeks ago. So that was good. So yeah, the climb continues. Challenging. The trail is challenging. A lot of packed ice. It's a dirty time of year. You can probably see that from the trail in the GoPro. And a lot of mud in spots. Pretty soon this ice will be all gone and it'll all be mud. That's not my favorite time. And this particular trail in the canopy, because it had so much snow, takes a long time to dry. It's once it all turns to mud, it's probably the beginning of July before it actually dries out again. Between then and the end of June, it really is hiking boot conditions. But anyhow, that's okay. Okay, let's get going. Now right here is the standing rock and Caves side trail. Now, so sure, that's a 1.2 kilometer side trail off the Bruce Trail. It's a loop, so it comes off the Bruce Trail and back onto the Bruce Trail itself. The Bruce Trail behind me, the way we've just came, and an absolutely gorgeous forest. As you will know, I'm sure, from watching my videos, I love the forest, the trees. As a photographer, I love shooting woodland. I love shooting trees. But down there, the Standing Rock side trail is where we were only a few days ago. We were down in the caves and canyons shooting a video for Gary Clayton Photography. So that was a photography video, and I am going to put a link up for that right now so you can check that video out. But we had to cut that hike short, and we did that because the trail itself was so icy down in the caves and canyons that we could simply not continue the hike. And that was simply because I was not wearing my spikes. I am wearing spikes today, but we didn't come through that side trail today. We're staying on the main Bruce Trail today. But anyhow, I just wanted to give you that little bit of information. And see, we mentioned spikes. We'll talk for a moment maybe about footwear again. Now, one of the reasons I quite often mention gear when I'm hiking is because I myself, especially when I was starting out as more of a novice or new hiker, I would always wonder, what's that hiker wearing? What shoes does he use? What poles does he use? What tent? What stove? Whatever. And I was always curious about what others were using. And then as I progressed and started trying out the gear and experiencing the gear that actually worked for me, with the guidance of other more senior kind of hikers, I developed my own style of hiking and my own gear choices. And you will all do that too if you haven't already, and that's fine. But what I do want to do is just mention the gear or the footwear that I'm using today, because sometimes you will have noticed, or sometimes I will have told you, okay, today I'm wearing my trail runners, or today I'm wearing my Morel hiking boots. And there's a particular reason that I may have done that at that particular time. I just got to change hands here. That sun's very bright. But anyhow, today, because I'm wearing spikes, I usually choose to wear trail runners with spikes. Trail runners are my footwear of choice, period, as I've mentioned before. So today I'm wearing my spikes with my Saucony TR12 trail runners. If I'm not wearing spikes, or if I don't have them with me under certain conditions, then I will go with my Morel hiking boots. If those conditions, if it's icy or deep snow maybe. So I just thought I'd point that out, how and why I choose particular footwear for a particular hike. Again, if I'm wearing spikes, it's usually with trail runners. So I just thought I'd mention that. And whatever trail runner you have of choice, or you like of choice, assuming you like trail runners, again, I use Saucony, I use Ultra Lone Peaks, I use Asics. They're essentially my three kind of hiking or trail runners, if you will, of choice. Those three brands. Man, it's gorgeous through here. So at this point on the trail, we do come to a trailhead with parking. We're at the Wasaga lookout. The trailhead itself, right behind me, on the road, street, country road, is called Eagle Crescent. And there's parking here for, I don't know, half a dozen cars maybe. Park along the side of the road. You can get as many as you want here. I don't think there's a restriction here in parking. Yeah, so Eagle Crescent, right here, not a Wasaga lookout. Okay, I'm not 100% sure exactly how far we've actually hiked so far today, although it's not overly far. It might be, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 kilometers of our 20, that's all. We've really just got past the warm-up stage for the day, I would say. Okay. A little bit of information which you'll find at most trailheads in regards to maybe rules, regulations, how to identify blazes and so on along the Bruce Trail, the meaning of the blazes. The first blaze marker in the tree, if we can see that because of the sunshine, which is right behind the tree. And off we continue down this beautiful forest woodland trail. I have been through here, I think twice. Obviously once last year when I did my through hike of the Bruce Trail, I came right through here. And I think a few months before that, if I recall, I came through here on a kind of training / dialing in my gear hike and so on. In fact, if I remember rightly, somewhere down here, and I kind of forget, but there was a bench next to a river, and I think I wanted to try out a new Sawyer mini water filtration system. And I think I filtered my first water in that particular river with that particular filter. And I think that was down here, but you know what? I can't remember exactly where that was, although I do believe between here and County Road 91, we will pass that spot. And depending where it is, and assuming that bench is still there next to that river, that might be a nice little spot for a break. But we'll see. Right now, we'll just keep going. Yeah. Sun's very, very bright today, but again, rain is forecast to move in later today, and I'm hoping to complete the hike, or today's hike, before that rain does arrive. However, the rain jacket I'm wearing, I've had this rain jacket for maybe a year, and what I noticed was at the end of last fall, just kind of towards the end of the rain time, because for the last few months we haven't had any rain really, it's just of course been snow through the Canadian winter, but I noticed it started to let water through. And so during this winter I did use a product that I have used before with great success to waterproof or reapply waterproofing chemical to the coat, and I'd really like to try it out. Sometimes more than one application is required. I gave it one very good application. The product I use, believe it or not, is yet another Walmart product, but you can get it from many places. Just Walmart is one of the places you can get it. It's got a bright orange lid on a kind of a can. Looks like an aerosol can, but it's not actually an aerosol. I think it's just an atomizer, good for the, or better for the environment. And it's called Axco. I believe it's Axco is the product. And I used that. When I first got onto that product, I actually lived in Florida, and I bought a really inexpensive bimini top for a sailboat that I had. And when I put it on, I instantly noticed the rain just went right through it. And I went to Walmart and I picked up a can of that Axco. Back then it was only about $6 US. It's more now. I gave it one really quick spray, and you know, for the next 3 years, not a drop of water came through that bimini top. So all of a sudden, that was my waterproofing kind of product of choice. So I have tried it on this coat, or I have given a good application on this coat about 4 or 5 weeks ago. But since then, we haven't really got into any kind of rain, as far as any kind of heavy rain, to really test it. So I would like to do that at some point. But anyhow, enough of that. I really just wanted to show you the trail we were going down, because it's in a flatter area. We have finished, completed a just pretty much right from the get-go this morning, it's a steady kind of climb. Some of it quite steep till you get to the top of the escarpment, but you kind of go up and down a little bit, and you more go along the escarpment, going from the bottom to the top to the bottom to the top, and again the top to the bottom. That is pretty much a lot of the Bruce Trail, especially in the Blue Mountain and Beaver Valley sections. Out of the 9 sections of the Bruce Trail, I found those on my through hike made me work the hardest. I mentioned that because there was a question, I think, on Facebook about the Bruce Trail and which sections were the hardest, and that's what I answered. Each section has its challenges, but I found the Blue Mountain and the Beaver Valley sections seemed to me to be the sections that made me work the hardest. But again, they all had their challenges. Just a beautiful view to my left. So I guess maybe looking north. Absolutely gorgeous. This is Wasaga 2627 Side Road, Clearview Township. We're making great progress. The hike goes well. The wind has picked up a lot, and it has become very grey. Sunshine's gone. This is the side road. I don't believe there's any winter maintenance on this road. Maybe there was a 4x4 or some kind of Jeep came up here recently, but it's not open to regular traffic in the winter months. No winter maintenance. So yeah, through the ditch, up the other side. Very kind of tricky. Oh, excuse me if the camera's wobbling all over the place. But okay, yeah, 2627 side road. Amazing. Okay, we're definitely making good progress. As I say, the sun went away. The temperature did actually feel like it dropped 2 or 3 degrees as soon as the sun went away. Wind picked up a little bit, and it became grey. It seems to be getting greyer all the time, which tells me, okay, the rain that the weatherman talked about is coming through. And when looking at the weather report, there's a significant temperature difference between the daytime high and the nighttime low, which may indicate the weather that's coming is a cold front. Granted, it usually does cool down at night, but I still think it could be a passing cold front. Okay, we'll see what happens as we progress. Let's keep going down the trail. Well, put my hood on a little bit, just because the wind coming across this field behind me is quite strong, and as I said, the temperature dropped quite a bit. I didn't find the bench. Could be covered in snow. I have noticed that some of the ice pack is still a good 2 and 3 feet thick in areas. So that bench could well be covered in snow and ice. Just a little fight. Oh, yep. That was the wind. You know what? We're going to just try to do that slightly different. Adds a little more realism to the day, the fact that the wind is blowing hard. So let us try something along those lines. And maybe I'll just break that twig so you can see me again. Sorry about that, guys. But the wind has picked up a lot. Oh, get that hood back on. That wind is cold. So yeah, I got my coffee. And I'm gonna have one of these little, well, this is a no-name brand, but it's got cheese, like Cheese Whiz with crackers. I do use those on the trail. They're convenient, easy to carry, light. Offer a certain amount of nutritional value, although I don't think it's great. But then again, I kind of like that cheese whiz a little bit. I never did. Just eating it on the trail got me accustomed to it, and now I do kind of like it. And sometimes I find myself taking one of these out of my bag or cupboard at home and having one or even two while I'm watching TV. Yeah, go figure. Oh well. I'm going to enjoy this break time. We're going to get going. We're only going to be here a few moments because it is cold now. But I still didn't put that nylon layer back on. I might do shortly though. Okay. Then we'll get going back down the trail. I think we're progressing really quite well. So that's okay. Cheese whiz. Okay. I'm going to continue with this break and then we'll get going. Now, just for a point of interest, this section of the trail opened up into a wide field, or large field. I'll just pan around so you can just take a look at that. Now, depending if I was through hiking this particular trail, at an area like this is definitely an area that I would consider setting up camp. And it could be right by this lone tree, I don't know. Just depends on the terrain at the time. It changes greatly through the summer months, and the growth could be too much, I don't know. Quite often on an open area like this that I choose to camp at, I'll do it right on the forest edge line. So right where the forest kind of ends and the open field starts, that's also an area that quite often I will set up a tent on a through hike. I just thought I'd kind of share that information with you. For those of you that are planning a Bruce Trail through hike, that is, and planning to camp on trail, that's the kind of thing I look for. Obviously this time of year I'm not camping, simply because I don't like the cold weather. But from mid-April onwards to say November, I have no problem camping out here. And quite often I do that just to extend day hikes into 2 or 3 day hikes. But somewhere around the tree line is an area that I would look to set up a camp. Okay. Let's continue as we do get closer to the County Road 91. Let's keep going. So, we've arrived at the trailhead for County Road 91. So, here's the sign. It actually says Simcoe Road 91. Okay, fine. Frank's Lime Kiln Side Trail 200 meters. Bruce Trail. Wow. So yeah, County Road 91. So let's just go across the street, or the road, because this is the a side trail. I guess it's the one we just looked at. Not quite sure where the actual Bruce is, although the blazes back at the trailhead will tell us. So here it says this is a private road, so there's no parking here allowed, so it's not somewhere you could actually come and park and start a hike from. And the Bruce Trail, it actually turns left at this point. Fine. Okay, so yeah, here we have the Duntroon Side Trail. Okay, so that's what we saw at the other side of the road, was the Duntroon side trail. Fine. Wow. Actually, maybe this is a Duntroon side trail here. I don't know. It can be so confusing at times. Okay. So the Bruce Trail actually continues down the left side of the road. Right down here. We can now actually plainly see that. But we are at our turnaround point. 10 kilometers. There's a big quarry just up the road here, I know that. And there's a lot of trucks come up and down. I think there's one coming now. Yeah, there they go, the dump trucks. I see, I think it's called the Walker's Aggregate, Walker's Quarry. More trucks coming through. Okay. I have a little bit more coffee here, maybe have a bar here. In fact, I think I have a Kit Kat in my pack. And then we're going to start the hike back the way we came, for a total of 20 kilometers today. Okay. The trail continues to be challenging. However, we are making good pace and good time on the return journey, which we decided to do when we did our turnaround. We decided to kind of hammer back a little bit, and just for the heck of it, just for training and just because we can, I suppose. A little bit of an update though on upcoming through hikes, and I guess the best thing to say there is, well, there really is no update. Everything is so up in the air right now. Again, it's March the 26th, and it looks like we've got a long way to go before things are going to get better. So, upcoming through hikes. Well, as you all know by now, the Colorado was definitely on my sights as my #1 through hike of choice for 2020. I haven't got a clue if that's going to happen. That was due to start at the end of July. I can wait till, you know, say sometime maybe in August to start that hike, which I would, but I don't want to be too late into August. So maybe up to the ending of the first week of August, maybe. So depending what happens between now and then dictates greatly if that's the trail I'm going to be hiking. If not, again, my backup plan would be the Bruce Trail that we're on right now and a yo-yo, 1,800 kilometers, which, by the way, would be the longest through hike I have ever done if I was to do that. And I would do that, or attempt to do that, if I could not go to Colorado, or however that worked out, I don't know. Finances might not let it work out. I don't know about everybody else. Well, I do. A lot of people's income have been reduced right now. Mine too. I'm probably down about 2/3 of my normal income at the moment. So, and so is a lot of other people. I get that. So yeah, the Colorado would probably be the most expensive trail for me to do, simply because resupply locations are very expensive on that particular trail. And getting there, getting back, and so on, there's quite a significant cost to that. So hiking a local trail would financially be less. And my third option, depending on how long things are like the way they are, and there's so many restrictions, I would do the Bruce Trail again, pretty much the same as I did last year, 2019. Just a through hike of the Bruce Trail. Probably would look at any side trails, probably just do the 900 kilometers, or at least attempt to do that, of the Bruce Trail. And if I was to do that, heck, I could start that in September and still be fine. Last year I started my hike on September the 3rd, so that would work out. So I have options for a through hike for 2020, and hopefully I'm going to be able to do something, just because it's what I do. But again, I'd really like the Colorado. Okay, enough of that. Whew. Doing just fine on this trail today. Just fine. The rain is holding off. In fact, it brightened up a little while back again, but then the grey started coming in, which it's doing now. But so far so good. Well, we're back on the gravel road, very close to where we started. We have one more forest to go through, the one that runs along the side of the river, where we started out this morning, till eventually get back to the car. We're maybe about 1.5 kilometers to the car from here. It's been an excellent, it's been an excellent hike today. And we made great time coming back. We really pushed it hard, and that was good. You know, I've been out hiking pretty much every day, every single day for the last 2 weeks. With all the craziness that's going on in the world right now. And there is craziness going on, as you know. But yeah, been unemployed for the last couple of weeks, all but unemployed. So, can't even go to the gym, it's closed. So every day for the last 2 weeks, I've been out hiking, just like today. It almost feels like I've been on a through hike. But anyhow, I just hope you're all safe out there. I'm not going to lecture about what you should and shouldn't do. We already know what we need to do to be safe and keep our loved ones safe, and I hope you're safe. So you know what, with that said, one other little thing that somebody said to me years ago about something, and that is, don't worry about what's going to happen. Whatever's going to happen will happen whether you worry or not. That doesn't mean don't take precautions, by the way. Hey, Jasper here, trail name Jasper. We will see you next time. Bye bye.